All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Dr. Stone, Season 1, Episode 21. All right.
We have cotton candy.
We've got cotton candy, and we've got the very beginning parts of our cell phone in progress here.
Gold threads that are being, woven together or spun together for wire, but they need a lot of wire.
A lot.
An awful lot.
And this is like the very, very beginning stages of this whole process here. So we don't know necessarily every application of this wire, like in and of itself. Like there's stuff that's going to go into the actual device itself. There's stuff that might be going into things like with the circuit board, but we do have this lovely cell phone roadmap here that they gave us in the episodes.
Yes.
And it's really cool to be able to be like, oh, cool. I see how we're Minecrafting this whole, this whole thing. Like, let's go. So I think we predicted that the next thing that they would either focus on is the plastic or just doubling down with the wire so that they can
have a good supply
and then kind of set up the resource gathering that is necessary for one of the other things there.
Yeah, because luckily they haven't had to go on any crazy scavenger hunts yet.
Right.
So,
and one of the things I just noticed actually just now was the sulfuric acid for the battery is one of the things that they have already had.
Yes.
So they don't actually have to go and gather too much of that.
Right. But that definitely helps.
I love the idea that a beehive is necessary for the plastic. And I just see story potential there. I'm like, why? Why do we need a beehive for plastic?
Suika running like mad.
Putting the melon over the beehive, like to capture it and then carry it or something, like stuff like that.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, and then come back here for the discussion. So, okay, health, 500, attack 1, skills is exhilarating, petrification, revival fluid, curl, super drug, continuous counting, gourmet science dish, foxtail, melee robin, science snack, cotton candy, kingdom of science, flavor force, attribute, science user, OP body of knowledge spanning
2 million years of human science. Not very strong.
Oh my god. Attribute. Oh my god, look. 20,000 health. 1,000 attack. You'll have to strike first. High somersault kick. Lioness. Dual wielding.
Mighty good eyesight. 11.0.
Mighty fast. Attribute gorilla. Extraordinary stamina. Unmatched power, but she acts first and thinks later. Oh my gosh. So what are the health of the other guys? 8,500 for Kinro. The guard golden sphere head on strike as a sense that's straight lace. Excels both offensive defense balance, but serious as hell. 500 attack. 100 attack. But 5,000 health. That's true. I'll come back here with the head and heart. Kinro the bodyguard. Kinro the awakened. Secret technique. Let someone else do it.
Fastest at running away.
Attribute loser. Runs away the second you know he's at a disadvantage. You're scum, Kinro. Oh my god. 500 health and 3 attack. Oh.
Spinny mode. Stealth mode.
Attribute sneaky. She can turn into a simple watermelon. Snoop whenever she wants. You have to imagine on some level that these were made when the characters would come up with, right?
Oh, sure.
Oh my god. He's got 50 attack. Like, he's half as strong as Giro.
And he doesn't even have any weapons.
No. The fruit of 50 years as a craftsman. Katana. Back muscles. Skilled craftsman can craft anything. When he gets excited about crafting something, he tends to lose his clothes. Oh my god. Okay, 1,000 health, 5 attack, mentalism, guessing for things. Fraud. Vanishing act. A curse to make one's heart explode. Oh my gosh.
What he did against magma.
So strong.
Yeah. Manipulates
people with his words of magic, but he's incredibly weak. I love that everyone is still stronger, really, though, than... we didn't get Chrome's stats.
Well, because he's obviously going.
Well, right, but I love that everyone is stronger, really, than Senku. Senku is literally...
Even Suika has more
Seiko has triple the attack of Senku. And he's got 5 times the attack of Senku.
Yeah.
Okay, that was good fun. That was good fun. All right, Spartan crafting.
Right. Yep, that's right.
Aha.
Because so what if they've worked for 3 days basically without sleep or anything?
Right.
They did something awesome, so now we need to go on top of that and make more stuff that's awesome.
More awesome stuff.
We got batteries now.
We got batteries.
Great. Sweet. Yep.
We got leveled up furnace. We got leveled up
that was
generator stuff.
That was legit awesome. I did not know that. I did not realize that was a thing that could be done. Like you have a wheel with gear, pegs on just one side, right? And then it spins around, and you get back and forth movement. There you go.
You just need to measure it out properly based on the size of the circle, and then the wheel, and then the placement of the pokes. Like that would be it. Like that's so cool. It's so simple, but it's just so
to me.
I love it.
That's wonderful.
Right?
So now, okay. They just have the furnaces. It's going. Yeah. Water. There you go. Boom.
Automated energy. Like that's just so cool to think about on a base level. If you were ever in a situation of needing to provide maybe some level of constant motion for maybe a heat source or whatever.
Like winter. What's that? Everyone just huddle around the furnace. Like.
True. They do need fuel for the furnace, though.
This is true.
That's probably the one part where it gets to be to the point where, there's no infinite aspect to this.
Right. Yeah. Yep. They'd have to cut down a lot of trees.
A lot of stuff would need to go into that furnace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But wow.
That's fantastic. Also, just covering the idea that they gathered already all the actual raw minerals and materials that they would need for the cell phone already.
Yep.
But then they bump up into a situation where one of the materials that they assumed would work for the filament doesn't work under certain conditions for the vacuum tube, which is really cool. Because then we end up having our characters in the midst of their kind of montage-based kind of crafting sequence. Win, have a loss. And it's not just, we'll switch this and it'll work. No, it's, well, crap. I don't know what will work. There's no way that we could find anything that would work. And then the idea that tungsten... Literally, I'm so mad at myself for not saying anything, but I was like, tungsten can hold a lot of heat because we've worked with tungsten in the past. Straight up, tungsten is not only can it hold a ton of heat, it is super dense as a material. So we would use it for weighting objects in small sizes,
in little go-kart derby races.
Exactly. So you would end up with tungsten being this extremely wonderful metal. Because it's not only one that can be really dense and stuff, but when you would put heat into it, it could retain a ton of it. Like not even comparable. We were comparing it to lead at the time, and lead also was one that is a little bit more.
Lead is a lot softer.
A little bit not only a lot softer, yes, but it's also a little bit more dangerous to handle. Like you don't want to lick lead.
That's
the
whole
idea. Thing. This might be a myth. I don't remember if it was, but the whole thing of the tomatoes being considered poisonous
because they were carried out to the people to be executed on the lead platters.
Right. Yeah. And that might not be true and actually what happened, but I've heard that. But basically, lead in and of itself is quite toxic to the human body.
Right.
But tungsten.
But if they get tungsten, that's it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And I love that it's something that they do have to go on an expedition for and whatnot. Yeah. This will be cool. And Suika helped. She had. Was it a little bit potentially.
Convenient. Of course.
Yes.
But if we assume that they gathered a ton of materials, right? And it was more of a thing of them indiscriminately just grabbing anything and everything that looked interesting. One of the things that would be naturally interesting about tungsten is actually the density. When you'd grab all the rocks and they kind of were around the same size, which also is a little convenient, but specifically they were able to be picked up and carried, and Suika's examining them, noting differences and stuff. Tungsten would have been like, oh, this is a little heavier.
Right. Now
and that might make her think the logic of that is if it's heavier, maybe it can hold more heat,
Now, do you mind if we go back through the episode? Because the way they discovered it was actually because it was a gemstone that was in the rock or whatever. And then I believe... I don't remember what exactly Senku's thought process was for it, but I believe it was something where he was basically saying, if that's that, then that means tungsten is also nearby, or it's one of the things used...
No, what it was that they gathered a whole bunch of rocks when Chrome went out to basically go on a search for a whole bunch of things.
Right.
So when Chrome goes out to get copper, comes back with the copper, and it's helpful for making the tube, but then they end up putting in too much heat, and then the bamboo
filament's no good. Yeah,
disintegrates. Yeah, and then basically they end up getting all the extra minerals and stuff.
Okay, because tungsten is an element. It's not like a compound that you can make. It's an actual it exists and that's it. Right.
Yeah, it's a periodic table.
Yep. Periodic table.
It has a number.
Exactly. So I was curious how Senku figured that out, but whatever. I can check after the discussion. But yeah, man, tungsten will help them do a lot, because the big issue that they kind of brought this up in this episode is that they're getting to the point where the things that they need to do are very precise. They're incredibly precise, and the tools that they have are not they're most precise. They're rudimentary, right? Mm. Now they're getting better at that, right? They're automating things and whatnot, and they have one hell of a craftsman. But there will come that point where they reach limits, right? And they can use things like tungsten to sort of push that deadline, of when they won't be able to get past it. Mm-hmm. Right. But that is something that they'll need to worry about.
Because right now their best tool actually are their own hands, fingers, and thumbs. Right now, meaning the skills of the craftsmen themselves.
Yeah, the fact that they have a craftsman that skilled is unbelievably useful.
But what that means though is that no one else can do this.
Right.
So we ended up in situations where Chrome and the older gentleman, what was his name, Kaseki, just are put. They're dead. They're dead. Just completely tired. They have no real energy for this other than their own passion specifically for the art and the act of crafting. Mm-hmm. So they end up in situations where they're bottlenecked by their own abilities, which isn't, like you said, scalable. If anything, they would want to have tools that they could give to all the people, and then the tool would make it so that the average person could just do the thing. Right. Then it could be turned into grunt work, and then they could go back to innovating.
Right. Yeah, especially if there was some way that they could turn it into an assembly line. That would be the ideal. Now that they have harnessed physical and electric power, they can do a lot of things. That's potentially.
True. They could make a conveyor belt and just set people at specific stages. You're right. Why not?
And because they're dealing with tools like this, it might be very, very complicated to set up, say, a machine of some kind that would mass produce light bulbs or something or at least the glass part of the light bulbs, that way you don't need to have him glass work each individual one. Right. But yeah.
Yeah. That might involve just going and one by one every time they go to make one, teach, another person specifically.
Sure.
But that's something that's more of a Kaseki's going to pass away in 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
We need to teach about 12 people minimum in order to kind of make sure that this crafting passion doesn't die out.
Right. Yeah. He needs some apprentices.
Right. Chrome kind of fulfills the apprentice archetype for a lot of the characters at the moment, specifically Senku and Kaseki. Mm-hmm. But
it's not the same.
Yeah, that's not the same. Yeah. Exactly.
Now hopefully in the 10 years before he dies, they'll be so much farther along that a lot of those problems will sort of be taken care of.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are then going into the winter side of things here, and we had this lovely Christmas tree moment there where they lit up the whole tree with lights and stuff, and that was wonderful. And that was something that we saw in the OP, but now we get to know oh, that's exactly why. Fantastic. But having these moments of kind of elation and excitement surrounding the work that they've done just is something to remind us that at any point, Tsukasa could send a couple people and without really much effort break and ruin a whole lot of effort that they've put into this thus far. So it is going to get really exciting with how much they're capable of doing. But the more and more they kind of build themselves in here and dig in with regards to these specific machinery things and stuff, the more of a target it's painting for those specific things with regards to Tsukasa. So hopefully what they've been setting up with the girl that they gave the cotton candy, Homura, would be really, really important moving forward.
Yeah, and they have been staying on track. Like, there have been complications and whatnot, but assuming they're able to get the tungsten, I don't think they'll have much of an issue with anything else, because I mean, vacuum tube is like one of the last things they need. Like, they need the microphone, but they're already working on getting the wine and
the circuit board. That's gonna be
the circuit board will be tough. Yeah, I believe they have plastic now, because I think they do.
I don't think they have plastic.
Oh, okay, maybe not.
No, I think if anything, they basically went and focused on going and covering this whole angle here in this episode.
Because there was a part where they highlighted a bunch of them, and right. It's probably that they have the materials they need. They haven't necessarily made plastic.
Exactly.
I don't think there would be many complications with making plastic, though. Like
the beehive part. That's the part I'm wondering. It's winter. Like, where are you going to find? I mean, you're going to just go out and find something hanging from a tree, I guess. Like, or they already have one. Oh wait, no. Because when they did the honey, didn't they do a honey thing like earlier?
For the cola. I believe.
Was it?
Yes, I think they used honey.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So then they would have honeycomb, and that's probably the essence of it?
Well, I'm guessing what they need is they need the wax.
Yeah,
They need the wax, and then they use that to make the plastic.
Sure, let's go back to the part where they actually showed that they have all the resources. I think they showed that right at the point where they were like, Chrome's like, what do we need? I'll go gather it. And then he's like, actually, Oh, materials we're missing? There's nothing. We have everything we need.
Right.
So they have Beehive there. So they have that already set up.
Cool.
Yeah,
right,
these
they need
other
to make
things.
the solder and the coil and the shell salt, but they have the stuff that they need to make it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So now it's just making things during winter, which should be probably the best thing you do. You don't want to leave camp too much.
And if you have a furnace that you can, as long as it's fueled, it can generate plenty of heat, and you have lights and things like that. Great. Like the fact that
set up.
Like it's the fact that it's specifically the vacuum tubes, not just the light bulbs in general, right?
Oh, right.
That's a big deal. That is a big deal. Although, wait. It is. They've got good light bulbs. And the whole thing of making the copper tubes instead of like having an actual copper thread or wire, that's great. I love it. Yeah.
We have got, I'd say, like the majority of the tough things with regards to setting the foundation to make the cell phone kind of work here, but I'm still curious to find out what will be the big thing that they'll have to build with regards to this. Like something that will be more of a construction rather than an artisan design.
Right, like I was surprised how quickly they did the batteries. It's just like, all right, batteries, we got those. Boom.
Yep,
there it is.
Yeah, they're very rudimentary, but
shows what I know about batteries,
It's also kind of crazy to think about like what one invention, glass, has done for them so far. The rippling effect of it throughout the entire show thus far. But hey, y'all, we're in wintertime. We're going to all hunker together and get warm and survive this. Looks like they're going to be doing just fine. I don't think they'll probably get raided.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
But if they were actually going to get raided, this actually is a time where I would say Tsukasa might have an opening because of the fact that they wouldn't expect it here.
Oh.
And it's a little bit quick too. So just putting that out there. But that's the episode, and we've only got a few more episodes left before the season's over. So if you want to see the next episode's reaction discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general. And you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Yep, Battle Lines, sci-fi novel. It's on Amazon. Link in the description. Go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see it there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.